Have you ever seen those crazy comments in chat followed by insane sounds and animations? What you've been experiencing is a gesture. So perhaps you're wondering how people can do this. Never fear, I'm going to show you how. Just remember, don't overuse them. This is known as gesture baiting and can be incredibly annoying. The only place where you can overuse them with impunity is a place where using gestures is almost a language. And this place is any tiny community. Tinies are little critter avatars, and their use of gestures is famous. Or should I say infamous? If you're not a tiny, keep your gestures to a minimum. Let's make a gesture then. To do this, you will need a few things, because if I show you how to make a gesture, I'm going to show you how to make a gesture with sound, interesting chat, and with audio. Let's start with the audio. For this, you will need a free program. Go to audacityteam.org, where you can download the latest version of Audacity. Audacity is an awesome program for sounds manipulation. It's also super easy. I shall show you step by step anyway. Once you've downloaded Audacity, you'll start making a gesture. I'm just going to make something very simple, but incorporate all the features of gesture making. Apply these to your own ideas and you'll be off and running, and possibly filling your inventory. Once you open Audacity, you need to make sure that you are set up to record and listen back. Go to Edit, then Preferences. The Device tab comes up right away. Check that your speakers or headset are listed on the playback drop-down and your microphone is listed on the recording drop-down. In my case, I've made sure my mixer is listed in both places. Let's make some fun greeting audio. I've promised to make some gestures for our in-world listeners, so you can watch how I do it, and those that come to our in-world shows may well hear them. So here's some audio I recorded. To record, I simply press the red button and then speak into my microphone. When I'm done, I click the stop button. Please note that any audio for Second Life must be under 10 seconds. Let's listen back. Oh, spiral poo. Well, that's horrid. It's flat, it's lifeless, it's boring, and it has a horrible hiss in the background. I know the hiss is caused by my audio setup, and it's something that's not easy for me to fix. If you have any of these problems with your audio, don't worry. Audacity can fix all of them. So, let's remove the hiss. First of all, let's make sure that this button is indented, that is, selected. Now I am going to select some of the audio that isn't speech. I always leave some dead air at the end of my recording for this reason. To do this, I click on a silent spot in the recording and, holding down Shift, I click a little bit further along the timeline. That will give you a highlighted area. Then go to Effect and then Noise Removal. A box will come up. Click Get Noise Profile. Now left-click on the light grey section of the track where my cursor is. This will highlight the whole track. Now go back into Effect and then Noise Removal. You can preview before you OK if you wish. If you're happy, click OK. It's usually fine straight off the bat. Now, if you look at the waveform, you'll see that all the wavy lines on my silent bits are now straight. I can see a blip at the end of the recording which I want to remove. To do this, I left-click one side of the blip Hold down Shift and then click the other, as we did before. Now you have the blip selected. Go to the scissors icon on the top right, where my cursor is. Click it. The blip will be removed. Now let's have some fun. I want this audio to sound like a Tiny, and they have small, cute, squeaky voices. I highlight the whole track as before by clicking in the light grey box until the whole track is highlighted. Then I choose Effect and then change Pitch. I will raise the pitch and that will change my voice.
Oh, Spiral Poo!
All we need to do now is enhance the sound for Second Life. Make sure the whole track is highlighted and then go to Effect, then Equalizer. The default is probably fine, but you can play around. Now you'll need to compress the audio. SL needs some gain boost to make the sounds reach anyone at all, and the compressor is usually enough. Go to Effect and then Compressor. Again, the default is usually fine, but it can make the track noisy. So we'll do another noise removal.
Oh, Spiral Poo!
Now we're ready to get our audio saved. To save audio for Second Life, you must have it exported with the following settings. The track should be 44,100 Hz and a 16-bit PCM WAV file. Don't worry what this is, let's just set it. Mine is already set, but I'll show you how. You can set the rate by going here and clicking on the drop down to select 44,100 Hz. To set the bit rate, click on this small box here marked Audio Track and then select Set Sample Format. Choose 16-bit PCM. Now you can save your file if you wish, but if it's short and simple, simply export it to your PC. Choose File, then Export, and make sure that you save it as WAV. And we're done on the audio. The first thing to do is import the sound we made. To do this, go to the top menu and choose Build and then Upload, and then choose Sound. Find the sound file you saved and open it. Sadly, there is no way to preview the file. All uploads cost 10 linden, which means making a gesture with sound is not free. If you do not want to spend any money, you can still follow the rest of the steps to make a free gesture without sound. The sound will appear in your inventory. Let's see what it sounds like.
Oh, Spiral Poo!
Okay, we can use that. Now let's compose the gesture. Go to your gesture folder in your inventory. Right-click the folder and choose New Gesture. A gesture will appear in your inventory named New Gesture. Surprised, huh? And a dialog box will come up. This box is your gesture making kit. Each new gesture has a default, which is a guy waving and saying hey. We're going to change it all. Let's look at the dialog box. You can change the description if you wish, but you don't have to. We can sort out its name later. The trigger does need to be changed though. The trigger is what you will type in local chat to get the gesture to play. It's normal to precede the trigger with a slash, so that if you type the word without one in normal chat, the gesture won't play. I shall change this to /spiral poo. Replace with is next, and it serves no purpose that I've ever found. I suggest you remove it so you have a blank box there. Now you'll notice that you can set a shortcut key. I never use them. Feel free to do so if you wish. And on to the interesting part. In the library section, you'll see there are 4 things we can do in our gesture. And when I say 4, I mean that we can use these 4 in any way and in any combination or multiples of combinations. You can make pretty complex gestures should you wish, but we're going to keep it simple. I want to wave when the gesture is activated, and I want the sound to play and some text to be typed in local chat. Before we compose the steps, let's start with a blank slate and remove the default steps that are in the new gesture. Click on Start Animation Wave and click Remove. Then do the same for sound, Hey Male Wave. Now our step box is clear. Time to add our own steps. First of all, let's put in a wave. A wave would be an animation, and there are several animations in the default library, so we'll use one of those. I shan't be teaching animations for a long while, if at all. I think for the time they take you're better off buying them, but for simple gestures you won't need to at all. So, if we click on Animation and then Add, it will appear in the Steps box, but we'll have none after it. So we need to choose which animation. We get a drop-down menu appear which says Animation to Play. You can choose a start and stop, but we just need one wave. Find the wave and select it, and it will appear in the Steps box. Now we'll add our sound. Go to Sound in the library, click on it, and then click Add. Because you uploaded the sound, if you did, if not, skip this step, it will appear in the drop-down. Find the name of your sound and choose it. The final step is to add our text. I'm just going to add text that will repeat in chat what is said in the sound file. Choose Chat from the library, click Add, and then type in the chat you'd like to be seen in nearby chat. You can then preview your chat and save it. Before we try the gesture, I'd like to suggest you rename it. I usually name mine with the trigger words. Right-click on the gesture in your inventory and choose Rename. Then rename it as you wish. You'll see your gesture was already active in your inventory. A gesture needs to be active to work. If you're given a gesture, it won't be active by default, so remember to activate it before you try it out. To activate a gesture, right-click on the gesture and choose Activate. You can also deactivate a gesture that way. So it's the moment of truth. Let's try it out.
Oh, spiral poo!
And there you go. If the animation doesn't play, there's a good chance you're wearing an animation overrider that is interfering with the gesture's animation. If that's the case, there are 2 options. Take off the animation overrider to play the gesture, or get a more powerful animation. And that's the end of another video. I hope you had fun making a gesture, and I hope I'll get to hear some of your gestures in world. Just not too many. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.